Hello. Today we're going to be discussing electrical scaled planets with the Thunderbolts Project and Andy Hall. And basically, I'm going to confirm his words on how mountains are formed and fugolite walls and things like that. All right, let's take a look.
Welcome to Space News from the Electric Universe, brought to you by the Thunderbolts Project at thunderbolts.info. In part one of this presentation, Thunderbolts colleague Andrew Hall began exploring some of the best case studies of electrical scarring on planet Earth. The features don't seem to fit with any standard geological process, but as Hall explained, they do show the expected characteristics produced by electrical discharges. Today, Hall continues his presentation with a focus on the stunning geology in the American Southwest.
In part one of Lightning Scarred Earth, shiprock was presented as an example of a pinnacle created by lightning. Fulgurites are created when lightning strikes, and current penetrates the ground, leaving a hollow tube of glassy, fused material behind. Current from the lightning vaporizes and extracts material in its path, while its heat vitrifies the surrounding soil, leaving behind glassy tubes. Based on its features, it's proposed here that shiprock is a standing fulgurite, created by lightning so powerful and sustained that the material began to recombine in the current as it was pulled from the ground.
Okay, that picture, we're going to be showing that in plasma. All right.
Leaving behind a pinnacle of fused material instead of a hollow tube. Once material recombines, it's no longer charged and attracted to the lightning channel, so is left behind, its ionic makeup altered by the current and heat. The morphology of shiprock displays this very well, with columns of fused rock surrounding an inner core of minette, ionically altered material pulled from the ground by the flow of current. Surrounding the pinnacle are minette dikes radiating away in a star pattern. Minette is high in potassium and low in silica content. It contains high volumes of orthoclase and biotite. Both are minerals with high metal content such as potassium, iron, and sodium. Silica dioxide will readily exchange oxygen with metals such as those found in the orthoclase and biotites when sufficient heat is applied. The prevalence of potassium and other metals crystallize in minette, and its undersaturation of silica is evidence of the reduction taking place as it was formed. This suggests that the lightning forming it was positive lightning, which is the type of powerful lightning seen striking from the stratospheric anvil clouds in thunderstorms. Electrons and negative ions in the ground, pulled out by the positively charged lightning, left behind a concentration of positively charged material which was not attracted and drawn away. The dikes and inner core of the pinnacle show the path of the current being drawn to the lightning discharge. Following the lightning strike that formed the pinnacle, the area was left with a net positive charge, which attracted a secondary ground discharge, or arc blast, that emanated from a different discharge process. This secondary discharge will be explored more in the future, but it's worth mentioning now because it left a magnificent Lichtenberg pattern across the ground, unique to the area immediately surrounding shiprock.
Alright, this video is to confirm Andrew Hall's work because Andrew is actually one of my subscribers, which I think is really cool because he's a very intelligent man, and he's used several pictures that I've used in a lot of his videos, and basically I've done videos about craters and how it's made by double helix energy flow, and how peaks are pulled up and things like that. Andy Hall, who works with the Thunderbolts Project, this is his video, he explains how electrical strikes pull up mountains. So I just want to prove it with this plasma ball that he's absolutely correct. So basically, if you've understood what I've done about craters and things like that, but you want a more sciencey view, then go see Andy Hall, because he's got all the technical terms, because he's an educated man and I'm just a goat herder who knows how everything works. So I can't give you the expressions and words of how all this happens. I've just told you it's by rotation, and I've drawn what's happening. Andy Hall goes through all the things that a professor might need or a student might need who's actually trying to be able to put it into a format that is more acceptable to mainstream than how I say it. So go watch Andy Hall on the Thunderbolts Project, and they will teach you all about the electric universe, which directly relates to everything I'm doing. So this is just to prove that Andrew's saying that mountains can be pulled up by electricity, because basically inside this ball is electricity. That's an electrical vortex heading into a sprite at the top. So this is like a fully fledged lightning strike that's going on. So what we need is a connection as if there was a sudden great lightning strike. So what I want you to watch is the ball in the middle. I'm going to put my hand directly on the top of it, and we're going to see what happens to the matter that is being held on the ball. Now, if Andy Hall is correct that electricity literally pulls mountains out of the ground, we should see a mountain form. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. One mountain, and it rotates, which is exactly what Andy Hall talks about at the edge of these craters. There is a rotation scheme. Take my hand off, no longer a mountain. Hand on, mountain, mountain of matter. And around it are Liechtenstein figures, which is exactly how he describes it. And I've just shown that all energy travels the same in every video that I've done. So this can be any planetary model, any sun model with an atmosphere. This is how everything works. And so we've got 3 leaders there shooting out in 3 different directions. All the rest have gone. See, hand on, down to about, got 1 now. So these would be lines that would be shooting out from the crater site. And oh look, that's what Andy Hall is telling you about. The fact that this vortex came down, raised a mountain up, like that, and then leaders shot out pretty much in a triangle. I mean, as you can see, these are angles. See how they went in like a 5-pointed star at the bottom? So there you would have a pyramid with 4, and then they have 3. So coming off Andy Hall's mountain are those electrical strikes there at the bottom with the red ends. Those are the bits that shoot out, because that's all that's on this, and there's all energy travels the same. As I've proven in 400 videos, Andy Hall is correct by the evidence I've presented right here. That these are the lines that shoot out sideways from that massive mountain that we just created with a rotating edge. Thanks very much. My name is Lee. I follow the Christ, and if I was you, I'd go watch Andy Hall's video. The link is at the bottom. And I'm telling you all about the things that the Lord showed me and told me. Thanks a lot.